My name is Michael Campanelli, and I'm a web design and development major. This is my submission for the Fundamentals of Physics Video Assignment. My instructor for this class is Thomas Ogrin. I have to say I approached this assignment with a good dose of trepidation. I've never really given physics much thought, let alone tried to tie it into my major. In art, or at least the way I interpret art, physics plays a little role in my process of creation. Yet when we step back, we can see that indeed physics played a vital role in that creation process, just as it does in the process of design. You see, while art is born of imagination, the medium we use to express that art can be something very much tied to physics. In music, my former profession, the sound of the instrument played a major role in the direction my writing would take. The properties of that sound are governed by physical laws. The very medium I drew inspiration from was affected by physics. It was intricately tied to these laws. In a similar fashion, web design is tied to physical laws as a result of the medium we use to express ourselves as artists. Instead of my tool of choice being a piano or a guitar, it's just a computer now. While I may be swapping ivory for plastic and a soundboard for a video card, it's still governed by physical laws. Just this time it's not sound, it's electricity. It seems physics is inescapable. Well, what runs our computer? Let's really look at the medium over here. What do we have here? We have microprocessors running our computer. So at the very basic level, a processor is just transistors. A microprocessor is a group of transistors governed by the same laws all transistors are governed by. When we combine these switches, which what transistors are, we get something called logic gates. This is brought to you by the clever controlling of current in these groups of switches. So over here on the screen, we can see the basic idea behind transistors, and the site I'm using here is how does a microprocessor work? scottiestech.info. How does a microprocessor work? We can see basic idea behind it, just on and off. They're simple switches. And over here we can see some logic gates. And really how these things work right now aren't as important as the fact that they're just tied into physical laws. None of this would be possible without the flow of electricity, the flow of current through the motherboard. We look at another part of our computer, another part of the medium we're using to create. We have liquid crystal displays. Everyone is familiar with them. You probably have one in your home. And what is it? Well, a liquid crystal display is a flat panel display, electronic visual display, or video display that uses the light modulating properties of liquid crystals. Light modulating properties. So it's light shining through liquid. And I'm sure that should sound familiar to some of you. Even the memory we're using, I mean, really, when you step back and think of it, it's amazing. Even the memory we're using, the RAM we use to run multiple programs that I'm using right now, it's tied to physical laws. To create a memory cell, which is what you have, which is groups of memory cells in your RAM, transistors and capacitors are paired together. The capacitor holds the information, and in this case, it's binary. It's a 1 or a 0. It's on or it's off. And the transistor works as a switch. Again, the transistor is a switch that lets the capacitor either be read or it allows the capacitor to be changed from 1 to 0, 0 to 1, and you get the point. But again, tied to physical laws. So we can see the hard drive we use. It's a data storage device, and thank God for Wikipedia, by the way. Retrieving digital information. So again, we're using electricity, we're writing 1s and 0s. All of these things, the control of that board, everything is governed by physical laws. So really, physics is inescapable, and especially as web designers, because our medium is a computer. And even though we can create from our souls, and we're still creating art, and yes, web design is art, we still have to use a medium to express that art. And without physics, the medium we're using will be impossible. I don't know how to add citations to the video, so the citations will be in my comments. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video.